Good morning.
How are you? Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Monday morning. It's June 28th, 2021, and here we are once again, another fabulous edition of Mindset Morning. I've just rolled out of bed, hit the shower, got some coffee, Dogs and cats living together.
How are you?
Very good. And don't forget.
Happy day to you.
And before we even get going, we got to play the intro. Here it comes. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. How was your weekend? How'd it go? What happened? Anything cool going on? Well, I gotta tell you, oh man, a little sluggish this morning, as you can imagine. First day of the work week, getting all ready to go to head into work, and I can't drop this. I spilled it in the kitchen earlier on. It was a fucking nightmare. Maybe because I put too much coffee in it. Oh, don't laugh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I spilled it a little. When I say spilled it wasn't like a huge mess, but it made a mess on the floor. I had to clean all that up before I got over here, which is always fun. Anyway, hopefully everyone had a great weekend, a nice, relaxing, cool weekend. Hope you did all the things that you wanted to do and had a good time. Hope you got out and about, maybe watched a movie, watched a TV show, read a book, listened to some music. I don't know, spent some time with your significant other. I don't know what you did, but whatever it was, hopefully it was awesome. My weekend was fairly uneventful. Let me tell you what happened. So as you know, last week was the inaugural week of Mindset Mornings, the first full week of a live stream every day, and 2 live streams on Friday, because I did the show with Reeves, Physical Media Friday, and then on Friday night, I did the Mindset Howl, Friday Night Howl. So all that early morning getting up, I guess it took its toll on me, because on Saturday morning, I woke up at 11:50 a.m. That's 10 to 12. I slept all morning. Now, I haven't done that for years. I can't remember the last time I slept in that late. But Saturday, yeah, that's when I slept till like almost midday, which was, it was good and bad. It was great because it felt really good to get, that those extra few hours of sleep. But it was messed up also because when I was getting out of bed, I was thinking, fuck, half the day's gone. I've wasted half the day sleeping. So good and bad, I guess. What are you going to do? Let's see who's in the chat. Let's take a look to say good morning to some of you guys. Or as you...
Good morning.
There you go. Let me scroll back. Let's see. Marie Kinky Boots Butler. Hello, Marie. She says, oh, this is interesting. She says, sorry I'm late. I was watching Taffy with Secret Vault. Oh, was Matt live today? I wouldn't know. I was asleep. We got the D-Row. D-Row says, respect, mate, from Scotland. 21 degrees here and getting hotter. Wow. Nice. Enjoy the summer while it lasts, man. Because it's going away. So enjoy. Barry Crump is in the house. Good morning, Gareth. And good afternoon to all the British fans. Not forgetting Punches, of course. Yes. I don't know if Punches will show up. It's a bit early for him. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, because I think he sleeps in. Or does he work? I don't know. But he might show up. We never know. We got Rick Howden says...
Happy day to you.
There we go. From Rick. Karen Hoyle. Afternoon all. Morning also. Shouldn't that be reversed, Karen? Just saying. Look at the time right there. What's this afternoon bullshit? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, afternoon. We got Firechild UK. Afternoon, Munchkins. He's off to see the wizard. Blimp! Exclamation mark says that 10-minute intro seems like hours. Yeah, I know what you mean, Blimp, but that's kind of the point. It's to get you eager for the show, right? That's why when you go to concerts and stuff, and they say on the concert, performance will begin promptly at 9 p.m., right? So you guys show up at 8 or 8:30. You all stumble in there, and you're looking at your clock, looking at your watches, and then 9 p.m. comes, and there's no sign of the artist or the band on the stage, and you're like, what the fuck? Where is this guy? And then it's 9:10. There's no sign of him. So you're getting pissed. You're like, oh my God, it's ridiculous. Said on the ticket 9 p.m. And then at 9:15, the curtain rises and they come on. And the anticipation has been building so high that when they come on 15 minutes late, you're so into it. It's like, boom. That's why there's a countdown. But, obviously, like I've said many times last week, if the countdown is not your bag, baby, then just show up at 6 o'clock. That's when the show actually begins. Yeah, and I advertise it to start at 6, and it starts at 6. But I get the counter going like about 10 minutes earlier so you guys can listen to some music and get in the chat and start talking and, all that fun stuff. Let's see who else. Number one fan. I got to do it.
Good morning.
Gareth.
How are you?
Very good. Thank you, Arnie. Simon Burwell says, good morning, Gareth, Arnie, and everybody else. Happy day. So we got to do a
good morning
and a
happy day to you.
There we go. Lewis is here. Good morning. Everyone's doing it now.
Good morning. How are you?
I told you this would get addicting. You're going to be doing this in real life. Yeah, Karen, you're right. Monday Blues, spilling your coffee, dogs and cats. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Rick's got Hangover Central over there. What happened, Rick? You had a night of it last night? You had some fun? You're boozing it up with your pals? Or you're stuck at home, drinking alone, sad and lonely? Just like me. Let's see. Let's see. I'll move this up a little bit so we can read. Barry Crump says, Gareth, I'm getting myself in lots of trouble because I can't get bitches leave out of my head. That is a great clip, by the way, from, was it Clarence Boddicker in RoboCop? Bitches leave. And can you fly, Bobby? All that stuff. Who else? Sunshine Dragon is here.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sunshine. And Frank, hit the wrong button, sorry. Frank Triggs. Oh, wow, this is a bit of a downer. At the funeral wake, Tony Coffee, ex-Wax Down player, sent a vision for my brother's kids. Well, my condolences, Frank. I'm sorry for your loss. I wish you'd be on the show in happier circumstances, but like all things in life, all things must pass, in the words of George Harrison. If you're going through a miserable time right now and life is shit, it will pass. Things will be good again. Storms don't last forever. They come and go. Mal Malawi says, good morning, Gareth. Good afternoon, peeps. And let's see. And that's it. That's all that's in the chat. We got more people watching, but more in the chat. Don't forget, guys, if you have not done so already, please, 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 please.
Do it now.
Subscribe. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. I'm hoping to try and build an audience. And I know it's great to have you guys here, but I need more. More, absolutely.
Do it now. Come on, don't bullshit me.
So hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. But if you are already a subscriber, I thank you, and hit the thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up here, and we'll get things going. So what we got planned today? So today we have in about 10 or 15 minutes, we will have Steve Genier from Nocturnal Frequency Radio joining us for a little bit. to talk ghosts and all things spooky. So Steve is a paranormal investigator, a ghost hunter, a podcaster, and a YouTuber. And he's been investigating the paranormal for, God, I don't know, probably over 20 years. But not just like me. I mean, I've been investigating the paranormal for 30 plus years. But all I've done is like read books, watch documentaries, and think about shit. He's actually gone out and gone on vigils and actually gone out searching for evidence or experiences. So we probably should have some good conversations. Plus, I have a ghost video and case that has come to my attention in the past 2 months, which I want to talk to Steve about and play the video for him and for you, of course. I'll play the video. You guys can watch the video too, and we'll talk about it in some depth and see exactly what may or may not be going on here. So that's coming up. Hopefully, you guys will enjoy that. I'm looking forward to that. For the rest of the week, tomorrow, fingers crossed, I will have Florida trailblazer himself, Mr. Joe Dunn, on the show. We're still kind of pending. I think he will be on this week. We're just not sure of the day. Hopefully it'll be tomorrow. Joe is an old pal. I've known him for many, many years. He has a really successful and great YouTube channel, Florida Trailblazer, where he goes out basically into the middle of fucking nowhere, like literally, and finds all kinds of fascinating stuff. So we'll talk to him hopefully tomorrow. If not tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. Rest of the days, the guests are still pending, but I have some irons in the fire so I can get people in. And then Friday, we had so much fun on Friday with Reeves Cook doing Physical Media Friday. Reeves is going to come back this coming Friday also, and we're going to go through some more physical media, and we'll talk about some more stuff, both new and old. I think I might even pull some old VHS tapes from the Mindset Archive and show you some of that stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Excuse me, I need to ingest some caffeine real quick to wake me the fuck up. There you go.
Do it now.
Thank you. Let's see. The outside cam has been acting. I'm looking at it right now. It's like, so we'll let's take a look outside. See what's. Oh, there we go. It's a little cloudy and overcast, but it's also a little bit humid today. Humidity is a thing over here occasionally. Not too much in Southern California, but every once in a while we get some humidity. And because I'm close to the ocean, this time of the morning it can get kind of humid. So it's a little bit humid outside, a little cloudy, but that'll probably go away as the day chugs along. Let's see, we got a couple more people just popped up in the chat. I don't think I said Simon Burwell. Hello, Simon. We get Anthony Nicholas from Port Talbot. Good morning, Gareth from Port Talbot. Good morning, Anthony. All right, boy, how's it going? Let's see. Rick Horton is clarifying. He says, drinking at home as I couldn't move. Why couldn't you move, Rick? Was you drinking that much you couldn't move, or something else going on? Let me know in comments. Unless it's like if it's super personal and you don't want to tell anyone, then don't type anything in comments. Keep it to yourself. But if it's something you can talk about, go for it. Let's see. Barry Crump says, today my meager lunch consisted of half a bag of dark chocolate-coated Brazil nuts and a good slug of brandy. Now I'm feeling quite queasy. I should have another brandy to make myself feel better. That's kind of like, it sounded like a song lyric in there somewhere, or like like a limerick or something. I don't know, but that's your call, Barry. That's all on you, man. If you want to take another swig of that shit, go for it, dude. Rick Horson says, absolutely. I'm gonna have to pull Arnie saying absolutely next. That's gonna be the next thing. Absolutely, yes, absolutely. Go for it, Barry. Yes, I'm a copy idiot. Mel Malawi says looks like rain. I know it does. It does look like rain. It does look like rain, but I assure you, it's not going to rain today. It's not going to rain. It rarely rains. Let's see. Napper's Quest says, "Good morning, boyo." There you go. We got Luke White. Luke says hello. Why are you saying hello? You should say
Good morning.
thank you. There you go. Barry followed Rick's advice. Rick, thank you. That's just the encouragement I needed. Don't listen to him, Barry. Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
Do it now.
Let's see. Kevin Quinton says
Good morning.
to Gareth and the Mindset Live chat. Good morning, Kevin. How are you? As this is a kind of a ghost-themed show this week, today rather. I finally got around to watching the new Conjuring movie yesterday afternoon. The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. And I thought it was okay. You know? It was not a great movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it was all right. I mean, it wasn't horrible. It was like an hour. It got me through an hour and a half yesterday. It kept my attention. I kept watching it. I found that there wasn't any really scary moments in it for me. A lot of the jump scares in there didn't really work, but overall it was okay. I mean, it was. Let me put it this way to you. It was considerably better than the first. The second Conjuring, where they did a recreation of the Enfield case, which was a fucking goof. It was ridiculous. That was not a fan of number 2. Whereas the first Conjuring, I absolutely loved it. I thought the first movie, the one that's just called The Conjuring, I loved it. I thought it was superb. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Great movie. Which made me, of course, very eager for the sequel. And when the sequel came out, I was immediately let down. And the third one, which I just watched yesterday, not a great movie, but much better than part 2. But it's strange because these characters, they're based on Ed and Lorraine Warren, the real life demonologists / paranormal investigators from the the 70s and the 80s. The way they're portrayed in the movies, you want to see more. Even though the Conjuring movies might not be the greatest movies ever, you want to see more of them, right? And when I watched it yesterday and it ended, I was like, wow, I can't wait for the next one. I want to see what happens. I want to see what's going on. Even though it wasn't a great movie, it leaves that kind of, that kind of thing stuck in your head. So, yeah, The Conjuring. That was not a bad experience. I watched that yesterday. Let me get this going over here. Give me a second. There we go. Alright, I'm just lining things up over here so I can get Steve on in a few minutes once he appears. There we go. Okie dokie. Alright, let's see. I did the subscribe thing, so if you haven't subscribed, please do that right now.
Do it now.
And also give us some thumbs up. We got 2 thumbs down. It fucking blows my mind. The whole thumbs down thing drives me. It's insane. I really don't understand it. But I'm not going to go through that. If you watch the stream, you'll understand my opinion on it. If you don't like what you're seeing, just leave. Go watch something else. Go watch fucking cat videos or some shit. I don't know. Go see someone else. What are you sticking around for? Let's see. Barry Crump as a. We got a few more people coming in. Natalie Lucy Alice says, "Good morning, Gareth." Hi, Natalie. Nice to see you. Simon Burrell says, "Spooky." Yeah, it's going to be spooky. Barry Crump has a message or a request. Gareth, could you ask your guest to explain the concept of earthbound spirits that you can interact with and residual energy that just appears to be recording as the marching Roman soldiers? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can absolutely ask him that. No worries. Let's see. Karen liked the movies. Yeah, I don't blame you, Karen. They're fun times. Good stuff. Let's see. Did you guys tell me in chat? Did you watch anything cool this weekend? Any movies that popped up on your radar that you might have indulged in? Anything you watched? Any good recommendations? That's the good thing about doing streams and stuff. You know, you get recommendations. Like I can tell you about stuff that I like and recommend stuff to you, and vice versa. You know. Oh. Stressed Bible Smite Club. I'm still in love with that name, by the way. He says, "LOL." The more it's mentioned, the more people thumbs down for a laugh. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, that's probably. There are some sick fucks out there.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, let me know in the chat if there's any movies that you saw over the weekend that you might want to recommend. It's preferably scary movie. I love scary movies, but I very rarely see a movie that actually scares me. You know, even though it is a horror movie or it's supposed to be scary or spooky or whatever, I can still enjoy it. I can still, see the merits and think this is a great movie, or I enjoy it, it's fun. But it's extremely rare that I'll watch it and get scared. I mean, maybe that's just because I'm getting older, I don't know. Let's see. Karen Hall says she watched The Ice Road. I'm not even familiar with that. What is that? The Ice Road. Let me do a quick search for The Ice Road. I've never even heard of it. Ice Road. The Ice Road. Oh, that's the one with Liam Nielsen. I've got a very particular set of skills. Yeah, 22-1 remote diamond. Oh, is it it's like an action adventure? Oh, yeah. See, Barry. Oh, Simon Burrell. Devil's Knot. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one. I was gonna say though, Barry and I seem to be on the same page with this one. The Haunting, from 1963. Absolute classic. Wonderful movie. Although the Legend of Hell House, which is a movie that's very similar theme, written by Richard Matheson, is a great one too, with Roddy McDowall. Hello, I'm Roddy McDowall. Good stuff, good classic older spooky movies. Really, really good stuff. I really enjoy those. Devil's Knot. I'm gonna have to check that out. What the Devil's Knot? Let me do a quick search for the Devil's Knot. Devil's Knot. Devil's Knot. It's a drama, crime thriller in a Arkansas town, West Memphis, makes national headlines these when 3 teenagers are arrested for the brutal murders of 3 little boys. See, that already sounds fucked up. I mean, it sounds horrible. Oh my God. But I don't know, man. It might be great though. Let's see. Stress Bible Smite Club says scary films are not scary, and jumpy films like Scream works, but it doesn't scare me. Yeah, jump scares are always it's always the easy way out though. If you have a horror movie and there's lots of jump scares in it, it's like, come on, dude. That's like a cheap thrill. It's dumb. Do something that's truly terrifying. Really push the buttons of the fucking viewers. Don't just do a stupid fucking jump scare. That's lame. You know what I mean? Let's see. One of my favorite films is Sir Henry at Rawlinson End by Vivian Stanshall. It features the irascible Trevor Howard playing a mad English peer attempting to exorcise the ghost of his brother Humpert. I have not seen this movie, Barry, but just from reading what you wrote there, it looks like it's right up my alley, and I like Trevor Howard. He always looks pissed off. You notice that? He's always got that. He's always upset about something. That's a good one. I'll have to dig around for that one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we can get Steve on the show. Let me see if he's ready. If he's ready to come on, and we'll get him on here. And all right, he's ready. All right, let me give him a quick call. So I'm calling Steve.
What's going on?
Hey, there he is. Let's bring him
There I
in.
am.
Boom, there's Steve. How you doing, Steve?
Not bad, not bad. How about you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's really early for you.
It's what time? Well, I'm looking for the clock. It's on the fucking screen right there. It's 6:26 a.m. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Good. Can't complain.
What's happening in the nocturnal frequency? I know you're on kind of summer vacation, right? But you want to tell everyone who you are, what you do, and your podcast and all that good stuff?
Wow, that's a long thing to sort of.
Take your time.
I don't know.
It's okay.
Wait a second. Need some. No, I'm just. I'm the host of Nocturnal Frequency Radio with my co-host Alex Rondini. We've been broadcasting since 2008. Just recently on YouTube now. I formed the Southern Ontario Paranormal Society back in 2005, but I've been researching and investigating the paranormal since 1996, and so on and so on.
That's a great resume. I don't know what it is, man. I know that usually when we speak, it's nighttime.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird.
But you're. I was gonna say, have you fixed your lighting or something, because it looks great.
Well, it's daytime. That's
that's what it is. Huh? This daytime. We're so used to seeing each other in the darkness.
In the dark.
in the darkness. But now it's daylight. It looks good. Yeah, everything looks great, dude. You're all well lit. You got the window open, looking very cool.
It's hot though.
Are you? Is it getting hot up there?
Oh man, it's humid as hell. It's probably about I'd say about 109 Fahrenheit.
Oh my God, that's fucking brutal.
And that's humidity, buddy. That's not straight heat. It's just humid. It's unbearable.
That's horrible, man. I feel your pain. That's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
I was saying that in I think last week in Vegas it was 130.
Oh, I know.
But that's
insane.
But it's a dry heat.
Yeah, I remember the last time I was down there in Arizona, just outside of Phoenix. Actually, no, just Needles, California.
Yeah. That's when they have the huge big thermometer, right?
Yeah. And we stopped in there to grab a hotel. I think it was like 9 o'clock at night, and it was still 109 Fahrenheit.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, is this normal? Oh yeah, this is cool. What?
Yeah, that's just regular. I mean, I think wherever you live, you just acclimatize. You just get used to it.
Yeah.
Know?
Oh yeah.
You just get. I remember when I first moved over here, I was like, it was in the winter, and everyone was like putting on jackets and sweaters, and I was like, what the fuck is? It's not cold. What are you doing? It's not. And I was told, it was like warm, and they were all like, no, it's chilly. And now, it's all these years later. I'm the same way. I'm putting on jackets and stuff, because I've acclimatized to the weather.
Yeah, it's yeah. I don't think I could ever get used to humidity though. Yeah. Heat's not so bad, but humidity, no.
Yeah, it's horrible. I was saying to the viewers right now, because I got the outside cam. Let's do the outside cam. See what it's like out there. It's a little overcast this time of the morning. You can see you get some clouds going out there, but it is a little humid this morning. But I guess when I say little, compared to what you're going through, man, It's probably like nothing.
Well, there's hardly any clouds in the sky here. I'd show you, but unfortunately, I don't have that fancy little extra cam you have there, buddy.
The fancy little cam, it's just a webcam stuck to the
I
window.
know.
It's not like I have like, and now we go live over to the Now we did get a request. I was talking to everyone before we started about that you were going to be coming on, and let me pull that up real quick so you can see it. And Barry Crump in the chat says, Gareth, could you ask your guest to explain the concept of earthbound spirits that you can interact with the residual energy that appears to be just a recording, such as marching Roman soldiers? So, I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot or anything,
No.
but could you give like an overview of the difference between residual and intelligent hauntings?
Well, I mean, there's theory and then there's experience
Right.
from my research. But I mean,
Did I lose you? What happened? Hello?
hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
You there?
I just stopped for a second.
Oh,
It
weird.
froze. Okay,
That's
we're back.
that's those
The
that's
ghosts.
the intelligent
Those
spirits.
those intelligent spirits. Yeah, they're trolling us. All right, so
Yeah,
we're back. So go ahead. Sorry.
Residual is sort of like an implanted sort of energy, something that plays out like a broken record, if you will,
Mhm.
in a location. Like for instance, in an imprint, say an old farmhouse, for instance. You have somebody, a family that's lived there for 50, 60 years, whatever. And they have a routine. Say the mother has a routine of going down to the kitchen and opening a cupboard
Mhm.
on a daily basis. The same thing, like talking about putting OCD to shame. And basically when they're gone, that sort of imprint is left in the house. It plays out every once in a while, or on a dime. It all depends on the situation in that sort of location. Whereas an intelligent sort of haunting, which is a little bit more rare,
Right.
in my obviously through my experience, but it's there. It does happen. Is something that seems to be trying to respond, or is trying to guide you, if you will, to look at, or maybe they don't understand what's going on. They're in a situation, and again, this is sort of the gray line between, okay, look at a person dies suddenly and they're in the middle of doing something and unfinished business.
Right.
And that sort of can sort of lay in both sides of the gray sort of area, if you will, where again, the person is the presence of that person's or essence of that energy of that person or whatever is trying to finish that sort of task,
Right.
or they're confused.
Is it?
Or
Do you think sometimes they're just trying to get attention? They're just trying to get you to notice them.
oh well, we see again. We don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously
yeah, no,
that's
absolutely,
that's a possibility. There's no doubt about that. It could be anything. I mean, see, we're drawing at straws here with a lot of this still. We really don't know what we're dealing with, although we kind of do. We don't, that kind of is like sending a shuttle into space and saying, oh, we're going to go to the next galaxy in, a couple hours. And really,
Yeah.
it's like, it's huge out there. And we've only touched the surface, if anything, not even.
Well, there's a huge amount of speculation in the paranormal world, and it's natural because that's the way the mind works. You try to extrapolate from the experience you've had, and you come up with theories and ideas. But even though they purely are theories, ideas, and speculation, in a lot of cases, people start treating them as reality, as if it's real. Well, obviously, one of the most common ones is that paranormal activity is caused by the spirits of the dead.
Yeah.
Now that very well may be the case, right?
Might be, yeah.
But we don't know. We don't know what's causing the activity.
Well, I think that is obviously the most common theory, obviously, the spirits of long gone loved
Right.
ones or whatever. And again, I think a lot of that has to do with religion,
Mm-hmm.
how religion has sort of taught us to believe that, resurrection and all that kind of stuff. But I think we're, I think we really have to think outside the box here and go to these other theories that are quite possible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we obviously don't understand death other than, from the scientific sort of
Right.
aspect of it, you're gone. That's it,
Mm-hmm.
but is that what it really is? I mean,
Yeah.
is it an actual transition? Are you actually moving on to something else? I mean, when you look at it from an energy standpoint, obviously, and we're made up of energy. Where does that energy go? Because I mean, energy is infinite. It, it,
Yeah.
it never dies.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, when you look at the soul or what the soul could possibly be, is that your energy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that your imprint? Your imprint moves on.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, the speculation over consciousness survival over bodily death.
mhm,
There does seem to be a lot of circumstantial evidence that something does
mhm.
survive,
Yeah.
based on near-death experiences and the like, where people on operating tables who are clinically. Hang on, let me get rid of Barry's message. He's just popped up again. People who are clinically dead, right? There's no brain activity. The heart stopped beating. They're not breathing, and the doctors are feverishly rushing around trying to revive the person on the stretcher or on the
Mhm.
operating table. And there's logically and rationally, there is no way that person can know what's going on.
No.
But there's many cases where the person is physically dead, and yet they can recount conversations that were had, describe in great detail procedures that were done to them. And they said that, well, I rose up out of my body and I was up at the ceiling looking down on myself, and the doctors feverishly working trying to save me, and I could hear them talking and what they said. And that should not happen. If the body is dead,
Hmm.
that should not happen, but it
No.
does. So it
Hmm.
does. It points to something, some kind of consciousness survival that might be happening.
And of course, science will tell you that they'll give you some sort of reasoning behind that, and rightfully so because they're trying to explain it.
Right.
And that's the whole point of sort of the realm that we know as paranormal, the unexplained.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't know. Obviously, the only way we're ever going to find out right now in this point in time is when our time comes, if you will. But uh, you know, when they try to discount the fact that you're dead, you're dead. That's it. I have a hard time believing that.
Yeah.
Um, but at the same time, I'm very like anything in the paranormal. I always keep a healthy skepticism about
Mm-hmm.
it.
Right.
I mean, come on. If that buffer wasn't there, we'd be running around like lunatics, saying that we don't die. No, we don't die. We're going off and killing themselves, suicide,
Well,
whatever.
as
You
as
know,
as far as we know, though, Steve, we're the only animal that knows that one day we'll die, right? If you
but
look
are
at-
we?
Well, that's what I'm saying. As far as we
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
we're the only animal that's aware of its own mortality.
Hmm.
And we
Yeah.
know it's natural that you get old and you die, right? That's
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
that's normal. It happens to every single one of us. But in as far as we know, in the animal world, if you have a dog that you love, if you've had the dog for 18 years, does the dog know that it's going to die, or is it just living day to day, right?
It's
But
it's a part of domesticating them.
we don't. Yeah, yes, you will die.
Yeah.
We don't know, right?
There was this study years ago by a group in the UK, ITC, And I don't know if I mentioned this to you, Gareth, or not in our prior conversations, but they were running an experiment with audio and again with EVPs, electric voice phenomena, and if anybody knows anything about that realm and how it's so patched into obviously with energy and frequency and things that we're surrounded by on a daily basis. But they were trying to figure out exactly what these voices were. Where were they coming from? What created them? How were they created? All
Right.
that kind of stuff. And they had one of the scientists or whatever that were a part of this sort of excuse me, this project had passed away. And they decided, okay, well, we're going to try to communicate with him to see if we can make some sort of communication with him. So they were trying for, a few days, and then all of a sudden, they had this striking audio sort of not discovery, but surprise that here's this doctor scientist guy talking from the other side and telling the team, saying, hey, everything is good. I just want to let you guys know. And I'm not paraphrasing. I'm just sort of, this is
Right. The
approximately
general gist of
generalizing.
Yeah.
Saying, look you guys are in a purgatory state waiting to come over here to the real world. And I'm like, wow, that is fascinating, man. That is just incredible.
Yeah, that's a great take on it. It's someone said to me years ago, and I thought about it recently. Is like, what if this, where we live, this reality is actually the world of the dead, right? That this what we're experiencing now is the afterlife. We're living in the world of the dead now.
Well, take what you said, earlier there, Gareth, and saying that we're the only creatures that sort of know our mortality, if you will. And think, look at, we're like, if that's the fact of us being the only sort of creature or on this planet, whatever, that understands that. But do we really understand the environment around us?
In which way? I'm not sure what you mean.
Okay, so if you want to get right into details, you think about, okay, we humans believe in tangibility. All right, we think, react, whatever to physicality, right?
Right.
And if we were able to understand the world outside the physicality of this, of our surroundings, is that the real world?
Well, yeah, I see where you're going with this, and it's very much like all people live in an illusionary bubble, right? We live in illusion, our beliefs, how we perceive reality. It's all part of this bubble that we live in, and we're not experiencing real reality. And if we were, we probably wouldn't be able to get out of bed every day, right? Because the horrors of reality would be so fucked up that you just stay. You won't be able to do anything. But because we live in this illusion, which allows us to get up and go about our day and do what we need to do, right? And because we live in 5 sense reality, we're only experiencing a tiny fraction of physical reality, right? A tiny fraction of it. There's so much that's a larger reality that we have no concept of. Now, admittedly, because we're smart apes and we figure shit out, we've invented technology to detect these other parts of physical reality, like radio waves, infrared, yada yada, and so on and so on. So we're beginning to kind of move forward and detect more and more. But there's a vastness out there that we have no clue about.
Exactly, and there are researchers out there, people that have sort of gone to try to patch into these realms and has sworn, they have patched into these realms, and let's call it the metaphysical, if you will. And described what exactly this metaphysical realm is like, and 9 out of 10 times it's euphoric.
Yes.
You're sort of you're free of the physical chains that you've been sort of chained to your whole life because of your conditioning, if you will. But when you think about it, ask anybody, and ask them, can you remember what your very first thought was?
I don't remember what my thought was 3 seconds ago, let alone my very first thought.
Realistic.
But you can't.
No, it's a fascinating question, though. All right.
My very first thought.
What was your very first thought? What was the very first thing that you thought, like, as an individual, without having the help of people teaching you what you're supposed to do, how to talk, and how, what you're hearing, what you're smelling, your senses.
Yeah.
And your senses were sort of they weren't filtered. They were free and look at, fresh start, but
there is a knowing, though, Steve.
Yeah.
I noticed this when my kids were babies. And I was always fascinated with these kind of conversations. So when I had kids, they became part of my experiment. And I hooked them up to electrodes on their skulls. No, I'm kidding. But I was watching them intently to see how they reacted, and there is some kind of knowing. There's some kind of awareness, and I'd also find this, and I know a lot of other parents who, when they have small kids, they notice that too. Is that when your son or your daughter is a baby, like maybe a few weeks or a month old or whatever, and you have them home, they'll turn and they'll look at nothing, and they'll start smiling and like they're seeing something, or they'll start laughing as if someone is telling them, amused, and there's nothing there. And it's as if they're and I remember my mother. I said, "Look at this. What's going on?" My mother-in-law said, "Oh yeah, she's talking with the angels." And it's some kind of, and this is very common, that the kids seem to be aware of something else going on, And I remember looking, and there's always nothing there. But my daughter she was aware of something that was there. Now of course, this could be just the mind is forming, the brain is growing. There's just there's nothing to it. But it really makes you think that maybe the last vestiges of her previous life or something are still hanging around her head,
Well, it's a given that kids up to a certain age, the belief is that they are possibly able to. They have these gifts, if you will. We have a gift to a sort of a sense of what's around us a lot clearer. And it becomes more muddled and clouded as we get older, and we lose it.
Yeah.
Whereas some people are able to retain it. Some people are able to sort of bring it back and coach themselves to understand it. You look at, psychic sensitives and mediums and all that kind of stuff, that have this sort of sense ability to see things around them, that we've sort of lost that ability to. Let's face it. There's a lot of things about our animal instincts that we lose, that we've lost because of domestication,
right,
over the years, because of society telling us, look, this is what you have to do now, right? Whereas before, if you were born into, say, a hunter-gatherer sort of society, that was vastly different. You were taught to survive.
Yeah, we're engaging in we're engaging in culture, and we're engaging in societal constructs, right?
Yeah.
Where as part of the civilization that we're born into.
Exactly.
Rules and regulations and belief systems all come in to form how you interact with reality. It's not like you're in the wild and your thoughts are your own. I think Oscar Wilde once said that most people are other people, right? Their thoughts are someone else's, and they verbalize other people's opinions. It's very rare to find someone with their own opinions, right? Most people just parrot other people's opinions.
It's easier.
It's easy, yeah. Someone else says, "Well, I think this," and then they just keep repeating what the other person said. They're not having their own thoughts. They're not thinking their own things. They're just saying what they've heard or seen on TV. It's rare. Now let's talk a little bit about the video.
Okay.
So let me give you the full story. Now, I shared the video with you earlier, and you took a look at it. But let me give you the full story and like the background, and we'll put it in context. And then I'll play the video, so you can take a look at it again, and the people watching can take a look at it. And then we'll get into what may or may not be going on here, and we'll think about it. So what happened was about maybe 2.5 months ago, something like that. Good friend of mine contacted me, and we were talking about normal regular life stuff, and then she said, "I think my house is haunted." And I was like, "Whoa!" Instantly, my ears were like, that was all suddenly, like, "Whoa, tell me more, tell me more." So, how it started was that her daughter went to an occult bookshop here in LA. And she purchased like one of these magical pendulums. You hold the pendulum, ask a question, and it swings, yes, no, whatever. And she took it home and she started doing this thing. And then she started hearing footsteps in the house when there was nobody in the house, walking down the hallways. And then her room would occasionally get very cold, like her room would become the coldest room in the house. And this was witnessed by the entire family, and then other members of the family started to hear the footsteps and everything. And then she had one of these like one of these little scented candle things, right? And she'd go out and do whatever, and then she'd come home and the candle would be lit. And she's like, "Oh, what the hell? Why is the candle lit?" So she'd go and she'd ask, her mother or her father, "Hey, did you go in my room and light the candle?" Like, "No." And it'd be lit, right? And then she discovered that with the pendulum, if she started asking questions, the candle would flicker. And she could make the candle flicker and stop and go stationary in the room. And she said one time the candle burned so bright, it burned into the shape of a heart. Like the flames came up and made a heart shape. And she said she filmed it. And I was like, "You got to send me that film." But she couldn't find it. She couldn't find the footage on her phone. So I told her, I said, "Well, look, the next time the candle comes on or whatever, you need to film it and ask some questions and send me the film." And she said, "Okay." Now, and that's the footage that we have here. But there was another incident which I found fascinating, where the whole family were going out for the day. So the husband, I'm not going to say his name, but he took the candle, the one that always lights up, and he put it on the table in her room, and he got an empty goldfish bowl, and he put the goldfish bowl over the candle. Right?
Yeah.
And then they went off to do their whatever. When they came back, the goldfish bowl was full of smoke. In other words, the candle had lit by itself, and then due to the lack of oxygen with the goldfish bowl, it had gone out, and the smoke had retained in the bowl. I found that fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I've known these people forever. And could they be lying? Of course, absolutely. But I really, 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 really doubt it. I strongly say that they are telling the absolute truth. They're not making this shit up, and they're not faking it. So, let me get to the screen here. So what she did was she filmed herself asking some questions to the candle. So I'm going to play this, Steve. You're not going to be able to hear the audio when I play it, but obviously you've seen it before, so you know what the deal is. But everyone watching should be able to hear it. So she's got the candle going. She's got her iPhone, and she's filming the candle. And she's asking the candle to, well, you can hear her talk. So here we go.
Can you stop moving for a second? Thank you. Okay. I'll let you keep burning. Can you stop again for a second? Thank you. Okay. I'll see you.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, that shouldn't have come on. but that thing with the I found it I have never seen a flicker like this and then go completely still. Right? Every time I've lit a candle or seen a candle, it's been flickering, even just like a tiny little bit. It's never been like boom, rock solid. And that video shows that thing go solid like that pretty much on command. So, Steve, I am eager to hear your thoughts. What do you think is going on here?
I've dealt with this so many times, Gareth.
Awesome, love it.
So, I mean, this isn't the first time I've seen this, and there's research on candle movement and the flame and the type of smoke, the directions. You got pyromancy, which they use candles to communicate. There's all sorts of things, but here comes my skeptical side.
No, I want to hear it. Absolutely.
I absolutely, I'm not discounting what they're saying, at all. It's got nothing to do with what they're saying. I believe what they're saying.
Right.
It's just that, again, people, like a lot of situations in the paranormal realm, they will kind of figure that this might be sort of a type of communication or communicating, and realistically, 9 out of 10 times, it comes down to the science of the candle itself. And when you look at a lot of candle makers, even they've come forward and said these candles will do this kind of stuff. And look at an untrimmed wick, for instance, will do what you see in that footage. It will flicker, it'll dance, and then all of a sudden stop on a dime, and then it'll flicker and dance again, and then stop on a dime. Not only that, you got to think of the air current in the room as well.
Right.
That's a huge proponent for candles and this type of thing.
No, I asked them about that because that was the first thing that popped into my mind when I watched the video was like,
yeah,
there's like a slight breeze in there, or maybe when they're speaking, their breath is doing it, or maybe I thought, well, maybe someone's standing on the side going, or some shit like, because we don't know, right? And they assured me that nope, there was no breeze. The windows were all closed. There was only one person in the room. Nobody was blowing on the candle. They were too far back to have breath impact. All that stuff, right? And I believe them. I don't think they're lying.
Yeah, no, I believe what they're saying. It's got nothing. And like I said, I've dealt with this so many times, and I hate being the sort of the guy bursting the bubble. I really do. I hate being that way. And trust me, doing this so many times in the beginning, like a lot of things, and a lot of people, this is like, wow, this is fascinating. But
Mm-hmm.
when you start to put two and two together, like any math
Yeah.
equation or whatever
Mm-hmm.
else, you start to find the answers. You
Uh-huh.
start to figure it out. And you know, candles. Again, I always view something as if you yourself can physically recreate that,
Yeah.
which is highly possible that
Mm-hmm.
you can
Sure.
recreate
Sure. Yeah.
that,
Mm-hmm.
then most likely it's not a paranormal sort of event.
So you're suggesting that they're, even though they're being completely honest and telling, like, look, this is
Yeah.
really happening, that they're misinterpreting what they're witnessing and putting it into a larger context. In other words, like we were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
how people, like, they play into their beliefs, right?
Well,
And
that's a
they're
huge
making
part
it
of it.
into
Yeah.
it. Is
But I
something
mean,
like
not
that?
not not in this case. I don't know. They probably only, you know, w- what they're seeing is something entirely new, entirely,
Right.
amazing, and I don't blame them for thinking what they're, believing or whatever. What I would suggest is to sort of back it up. And the next time you decide to do that, have a recorder in there, or
Yeah.
have a temperature gauge in there.
Mm-hmm.
Have something that can sort of say, "Oh wow, okay, maybe something is going on," because you have something that sort of correlates with the candle, move
Right.
the movement of the candle.
No, I've asked them to, use a recorder, try to get
Mm.
EVPs, just go in there and ask some questions into thin air and see what happens. And they're reluctant to do that because
Well,
because if they do get responses, I think that might freak them
well,
out
scare them. Yeah, yeah,
pretty badly. So they're reluctant to go down that path.
and that's completely understandable because I mean, like I said, I've been in God knows how many homes for investigating situations, and the first thing I say is, look, are you willing to accept me finding anything? Because if not, then this is not for you.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to scare you out of your home more
Right.
than you
Right.
are scared now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and,
So
and that I because I've spoken to them and I've said, try this, try that, and you can see the reluctance on their face. It's like they want to know, they're intrigued and they're fascinated, but by the same token, they don't want to be freaked out and terrified, right?
yeah.
And here's the thing that's weird though, Steve, is that they've lived in this house for almost 30 years, right?
Yeah.
Nothing, never anything. And I was like, well, what changed? What happened? And she's like, I don't know. I said, have you had any, like, renovations done or anything? She's like, no, no. And then she went, oh, wait a second. Yeah, we did have the kitchen remodeled.
Mm. Yeah, that might do it.
So they had the old kitchen torn out and a new
Hmm.
kitchen put in around the same time as their daughter went and bought the pendulum thing. So,
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of stuff like that will happen with kids coming to puberty, for
hmm
instance. That change and that energy shift, certain locations will sort of react to that as well.
yeah.
Believe it or not, that's a huge, and it's one of those things that we simply can't explain. But I mean, it's an occurrence that does happen more than people realize.
There is one more component which I should have mentioned this earlier, and it just popped into my head, is that there was writing on the wall once also near the candle,
What kind of writing?
like imprinted, like if you took like an object or you pushed your nail into the
Mm.
written in the wall right behind where they keep the candle.
Were they able to make out what it said? Or?
Yeah, and they did tell me, and I can't remember. They did tell me but it wasn't anything like ominous, like get out. It was nothing like that. It was fairly benign, but there was writing that appeared on the wall.
And
but I don't remember what it was.
From what I gather with this, I mean, it doesn't seem like anything malevolent.
No.
It's just very subtle, and maybe there is something trying to reach out. And I would say don't be afraid. I mean, I don't think you have anything to be afraid of. I mean, there's, I understand that you don't want to, find out that there's a little bit more going on in your house than you realize. But I don't know. I kind of think I'd want to know.
Yeah,
regardless.
Me too. I'd want to try some stuff too. But I mean, I can understand their perspective on this.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's freaky enough already without adding, voices on a recorder or whatever the case may be that might really kind of push things over the edge. I mean, we've had conversations where I've told them to do this stuff, and they're not comfortable going down that path at all.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't blame them.
Yeah. So that was the big thing with the video. I've spoken to her and I've said, anything else happens, let me know. Shoot me an email or a text or something if anything else goes down. Because I'm fascinated, and from my perspective, because I know the family, I know that they're not making it up. It does seem like something is going on there. Something is, but when you put it all into context, it's the candle, the writing on the wall, the footsteps, the coldness in the room, all this stuff. But who knows? Maybe it's their imagination. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's a given, theory-wise, obviously, again, that light candle is a source of guidance for spirits, if you will, something that they can see and something that they can sort of, approach and attach to, and it being, instant energy, if you will. What I would suggest, if you don't want to take a recorder and record, maybe place the candle in an area in that room or wherever this seems to be happening the most, and put it on a bare floor, like a wood floor, if you got a wood floor or a concrete floor or whatever else. Put it lay it on the floor, unlit, obviously. And then maybe just get a little bit of baby powder or whatever, and just put it around the candle. Give it about maybe about 5 inches around the candle, and make sure the sort of the width of the circle, if you will, is probably about a couple inches, whatever, and see and make sure that you have a way to look at, okay, nobody's going to disturb this, anybody in the family, so to speak, and leave it for a few hours to a day or whatever, and then go back to it and see if that circle's been disturbed. And if it's been disturbed, then obviously maybe who knows.
Yeah, because they've told me that the candle will light itself. It'll come on. Just the candle will be sitting there, and they'll be in the house watching TV, whatever, and they'll go into the room and the candle is lit, and there's nobody has lit the candle.
Yeah, it's strange.
It's weird.
Strange.
Now you mentioned a term earlier on, and I want to ask you about it because I don't think I've heard this term before. Was it pyromancy? Is that what it was?
Pyromancy is basically oh man, I mean, people think of it as somebody's got like an obsession to fire and
fire starter.
And no, pyromancy is sort of like it's an understanding of flame, of and obviously with a candle, the flame of the candle, it's like a form of trying to communicate, and there's all sorts of ways to try to understand what the flame is telling you, the direction of the flame, the length of the flame.
So is it more of like a divination tool rather than
Yeah,
okay.
somewhat like a divination tool, pretty much almost the same, obviously only with flame.
Right.
And let me tell you, there's just so many different variations. When you think of a flame, you think, okay, a hot burning amber flame
Uh-huh.
or a yellow flame. Sometimes you might have a blue flame, orange, whatever.
Right.
These are all indications of something within this realm, that it means
Mm-hmm.
something. The length of the flame. Is it tall? Is it fat? Is it short?
Right.
Is it dancing? Like I mentioned earlier, is it dancing or is it standing still? Is it dancing then standing still?
Uh-huh.
These all mean something. This is like it's like a form of language, a language that you sort of, okay, this is, knock three times means yes, sort of thing.
Right.
The flame dancing means, okay, that, perhaps something has sort of entered the flame
Mm-hmm.
and is trying to control it to communicate with you, and all sorts of things. Like, I'm not an expert on it. Don't get me wrong. I have a basic understanding of
Yeah.
it. So I've never actually,
No, I
tried it myself,
I
but
I I just bring it up because I've that term I'd never heard it quite that way before.
yeah,
Pyromancy. I'm gonna have
yeah,
to dig into that and see what
yeah,
else I can
it's
find, because that's
pretty
interesting.
interesting. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Pyromancy. It's like
Yeah.
it's fortune telling, basically using
Mm, yeah,
using a candle.
exactly. That's more or less what
Yeah.
it is.
So that's where we are with that thing. I'll keep you abreast of what happens, if anything. I mean, as we both know, Steve, if this is paranormal, the paranormal works on its own schedule. So
Yeah,
they might have something happen tomorrow, or they might have something happen 5 years from now. Or any point in between.
yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason for when things take place. If this even is paranormal, right?
You
Because
never know.
we simply don't know. So
Nope.
what's been going on with you, dude? Are you actively doing any research or investigations or anything? What's going on?
Oh man, I've been editing, like I said, the existing footage for the documentary that's
Uh-huh.
coming out later on, the Dark Woodlot. I've been sort of experimenting with something new with it, that I really want to make this unique. Have probably about 4 or 5 more days of shooting.
Uh-huh.
That's not going to happen until the fall.
You want to keep that spooky vibe going, huh? It's no good doing it in the bright sunlight.
Well, it's not so much that, continuity
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and all that fun stuff. I mean, there's been a lot of elements that have sort of kept us out there. Of course, the big one being COVID and
Yeah,
these
yeah.
stupid lockdowns that they had.
Uh-huh.
And this year, ticks are really bad.
Oh, wow.
And if anybody knows anything about ticks up here and Lyme disease, it can be really nasty.
That's no
So
joke, huh?
no, they're bad this year. So in that area where we were shooting, I just said, okay, we'll wait till the fall.
So you got to wait till it cools down, so the tick population either dies out or hibernates or whatever the case may be,
Yeah,
so you can
pretty
go out there
much.
and film again.
Yeah.
Can you tell everyone the basic synopsis and a kind of ballpark figure as to when it might be coming out?
Well, I wanted to have it completed, finished by October 31st.
Nice, nice.
I wanted to do a special YouTube premiere of it on our the
Uh-huh.
Nocturnal Frequency channel.
Yep.
I don't know if that's going to happen now. I'm hoping. It depends on how well the shooting goes. The 4 or 5 remaining days, for the footage there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple other factors, but I mean, hopefully it's going to come down to the wire, man.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
I'm looking forward to seeing it. I know you've released some footage. This is the one with when you had the drone going over the forest and all that stuff, and it looked amazing. That the drone, even the drone, it looked phenomenal, and it really whets your appetite to see where you're going to go with this and how it plays out.
Yeah, well, it's really neat because we were able to get the drone guy to even go through the forest with it.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
And that is just phenomenal footage. It's just like, wow. How come this guy's not whacking into a tree or something like that? I mean, obviously the sensory on these things is just amazing, but
right.
The footage that came out of that is just wow.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to taking a look at that. Well, Steve, we're rapidly coming to the end of our time together, so let's go. I want to tell everyone where they can find you, how they can get a hold of you, and so on and so on.
Well, I mean, Nocturnal Frequency Radio is currently in its summer hiatus. We're going to season 14, September. You can find us on Facebook at Nocturnal Frequency Radio in the search box, and Twitter at Dark Discussions. Southern Ontario Paranormal Society. You can find us on Facebook as well. That's the most active, and I mean that's pretty much it, really.
Good stuff, man. And no investigations springing up, or anyone talk to you about, hey, this is going on at this location or anything like that?
There's always a lot of stuff going on, but like I said, with how things are just easing up here, I'm taking it slow, and I know just the guys taking it slow, and it's something will be coming up, I'm sure. I'm hoping to get back into one of the most, I guess, active areas that I know of. That I've been all over North America, and this place, the Spruce Lane Farmhouse.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get back into in August, September. So
sweet. Look forward to that. Just to let the viewers know that Steve has been gracious enough to share some of the evidence he caught at this place with me, and it's pretty substantial. Some of the EVPs were phenomenal.
Crazy stuff.
Amazing shit. Steve, always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much for swinging by on Mindset Mornings. We will touch base again soon. Enjoy the rest of your summer.
Take care, guys.
Take it easy, man.
Bye.
And there you go. And Steve shoots off into the ether. And hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Very cool to have Steve on the show. Let me just turn that off. There we go. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the chat, see what you guys have been yapping about while Steve and I were having that profoundly interesting conversation concerning the dark secrets of the unknown. Let's see. Tim the Pigeon Whisperer showed up and he said, ammo, calico, jackets made out of animals. And then Roche said, bars. It's the wrong show, guys. Come on. Let's see. This is interesting. Barry Crump says, are you aware of certain infrasonic frequencies, sounds that are below the human hearing threshold, that can induce feels of disquiet that can be attributed? Yes, I am familiar with that. Also, electromagnetic frequencies will have the same effect. Will induce feelings of being watched or a presence in the room with high electromagnetic frequencies, which is why a lot of houses that are built next to, those big electricity pylons that they sometimes they create an electromagnetic field, and if your house is in the vicinity of that electromagnetic field, the field might come from the power line and maybe like go through half of your house. And there may be like a room in the corner of the house where the field is going into the room. And you always notice that whenever you go into that room, you feel a little spooky. Like there's a presence in the room, or someone's watching you, and that's the haunted room of the house. But in reality, it's just the electromagnetic frequency that's coming from the big fucking pylon that's right next to your house. That's also something that happens, that kind of bleeds into electromagnetic frequency. That's why you see in a lot of these ghost hunting shows, they go around with an EMF meter, right, which is electromagnetic frequency, so they can sense the electromagnetic. God, I can't even speak today. The electromagnetic frequencies, that thing, you can sense them. Also, like if there's a circuit box in the house, which is usually in the basement, which is also, basement's creepy anyway. Well, and if it's unshielded, and it's releasing a lot of electromagnetic energy, and you go down to the basement, that will impact you also and make you feel, unnerved, and somebody's watching me, or there's a presence here, that kind of stuff. Interesting stuff. Rick Horton says, that ghost sounds like a bloody liability. Yeah, lighting fires everywhere. He's a fire starter, pumpkin fire starter. Let's see. What else is there? Barry Crump says, Gareth, you should visit your friend's house and hold a vigil with other open-minded and receptive people. Ensure that is recorded both digital and film cameras for digital. I would love to do that, but like I said when I was talking to Steve, I don't think they're that receptive to going down those paths, because what's happening to them, even though it is weird and strange, they're reluctant to bump it to the next level, and that's understandable. If you put yourself in their position, that's unnerving. It's not a cool, if this is your house, your home, you've lived there for 30 years, and now suddenly this bullshit's going on. Yeah, I think they would rather it just go away. Right now, it's like a small, fun curiosity, right? That they would rather it would just go away. Taking it to the next level is something that I don't think they want to do. Barry also says there really isn't much that will hurt you. There have been no incidents of poltergeists harming people or harming anyone, with even when ornaments are being thrown. Hollywood horror movies is a lot to answer to. Yeah, I guess that's true. There have been cases of people getting hurt, but they are pretty rare. It's not, paranormal is not common anyway. Paranormal activity is rare in itself, and then add to the rareness of the activity, and then on top of that, people being hurt, which is even rarer. So it's unlikely that would happen, but it's not impossible. Mal Malawi says, right, he's got to get ready for work. Bye, everyone. Yep, same here. I'm going to have to be doing that pretty soon also. Let's see. Karen Hall said Steve was an interesting guy. I will agree, yes. Steve's a good guy. A lot of good, and there he is, Zombie69. Steve says, thanks again, Gareth. Anytime, Steve. You're more than welcome anytime. Great to talk to you. Oh, what happened here? Sublime was missing second day as at hospital. He cracked 3 ribs Friday evening. Sober. Will probably join you tomorrow. Oh, what happened to Sublime? You got hurt? Tell me more. I didn't know that. He's usually a regular viewer. He usually shows up. I think he was there every day last week. I wonder what happened to him. Interesting. Okay, so as I said, tomorrow we'll have Joe Dunn on the show. Joe Dunn will be joining us. Fingers crossed. In fact, I'm going to message him right now to see if it's still on, because Joe is very kind of off and on with his schedule. He's a very busy guy. But hopefully we'll get Joe either tomorrow or Wednesday, and then we'll schedule out the rest of the week. We need to start wrapping this up. If you have not subscribed, please do so.
Do it now.
Exactly.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
Okay, so hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And if you have subscribed, or even if you haven't, hit the thumbs up. Give me some thumbs up here. Come on, what are we up to? You're up to 25. Let's get to 28. Come on. Let's get it going here. Hit some of those buttons. Oh, here we go. We got Karen says he had a wobble and fell into the table. The table is fine. Was he drunk, or did he just lose his footing, or what happened? Well, hopefully he's okay. That sounds like he wasn't too seriously. Kevin Quinton says, interesting talk, Gareth. Interesting talk. Thanks, Gareth and Steve. Glad you enjoyed it, Kevin. And yeah, Simon B.A. says, yeah, lucky tables are expensive. Absolutely. Tables are very expensive. I didn't even finish my coffee. The conversation with Steve was so fascinating. I only drank half a cup. I'm not going to drink it now. It's cold. Cold coffee is vile. It's disgusting. But yeah, give us some thumbs up. Down below, you can see some links. Shoot over to mindsetcentral.com if you want to check out my podcasts. I will be publishing a new one probably within the next 20 minutes. I have everything lined up. Once I'm done here, I'll be publishing a brand new, edition of the Mindset Podcast, which I recorded yesterday, which will be going live within the next 20 to 30 minutes. I'll publish that before I head off to work today. So shoot over to Mindset Central if you want to check out some of the podcasts. There's literally hundreds of them up there. So if you want to like piss away your day listening to me yap about all kinds of stupid bullshit, head over to mindsetcentral.com. If you really enjoy the podcasts and or the streams and you want to support Mindset Central, keep the wheels turning, the lights on, and the content flowing, shoot on over to patreon.com/mindsetcentral where you can become a Patreon. Which will help support me and keep things going. There's a ton of stuff up there on Patreon, which is members exclusives, lots of behind-the-scenes audio and podcasts which have not seen the light of day ever, or if not for years. So go ahead and check those out. Tim the Pigeon Master says, Super Male Vitality, Infowars.com. Shoot over there for Mr. Alex Jones. We'll get that going. And that about wraps it up for this week's, this week. I keep saying this week's. I'm so used to doing weekly shows. For today's edition of Mindset Mornings, let's take a quick look outside, see what the weather's doing. And looks like the clouds are starting to diminish a little bit, and it's really looking like I'm going to need to fucking clean that goddamn window, which maybe I'll just stop showing the camera so I don't have to clean it. But yet the sun is coming up. There's a bird. Look at that. There's a bird. Why do birds suddenly appear? Rick Horton says, Mindset and Paratalk podcasts are a great listen. Well, thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. So check them out, folks. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming by today. Don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you tomorrow morning with Joe Dunn. Fingers crossed. Have a great day. It's the beginning of the week. It's Monday. We're just barreling into this work week. Have a great Monday if you're just starting your day. If it's late, if it's afternoon where you are, I know we have some people in the UK watching and it's late afternoon. Have a great evening. Have a relaxing evening. And I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone. See you in the morning.